How's it going, everybody? Let me set up. All right, so let's continue on in Hebrews, and it's Hebrews 13, and we'll be in Daniel's 5. Did I say Daniel's 5? Daniel 5. Yes. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. It's because Jesus Christ is God, and Jesus is the Word, and the Word was before anything was. And John 1, 1 through 3. So don't be attracted by strange new ideas. Your strength comes from God's grace, which is God. Grace is favor. I don't have a lot of time tonight to go back over stuff. Just hopefully you're watching this on a playlist, so things have already been taught previous to of the items that I'm talking about. Not from rules about food, which don't help those who follow them. See, the old Torah laws about pork and shellfish and all that stuff's gone. We have an altar from which the priest in the tabernacle have no right to eat. Under the old system, the high priest brought the blood of the animals into the holy place as a sacrifice of sin, and the bodies of the animals were burned outside the camp. Also, Jesus suffered and died outside the city gates to make his people holy by means of his own blood. So let us go out to him outside the camp and to bear the disgrace he bore. For this world is not our permanent home. We are looking forward to a home yet to come. Of course, that New Jerusalem we were talking about a few days ago in Hebrews. Therefore, let us offer through Jesus a continual sacrifice of praise of God, proclaiming our allegiance to his name. And don't forget to go and don't forget to do good and to share with those in need. These are the sacrifices that please God. Obey your spiritual leaders. That's the ones in truth, not the ones lying to you, and do what they say. Their work is to watch over your souls, and they are accountable to God. Give them reason. You can hold me to that standard. Reason to do with joy and not with sorrow. That would certainly not be for your benefit. And see, you don't give money anymore. I don't need your money. God has supplied for me. We just tell the truth. That's all sheep do. Pray for us, for our conscience is clear, and we want to live honorably in everything we do. I'm not going to read through that in the King James. We can read the last verse, though. Pray for us, for we trust we have good conscience in all things, willing to live honestly. All right, let's continue on in Daniel, the writing on the wall. And for the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him, talking about his dad, King Nebuchadnezzar, whom he would slew and whom he would keep alive, and whom he would set up and whom he would put down. Oh, it's talking about God. And for the majesty that he gave him, Nebuchadnezzar, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him, God, whom he would slew, whom he would keep alive, whom he would set up, like Nebuchadnezzar was set up to be king, and whom he would put down when Nebuchadnezzar was put down temporarily. And when his heart was lifted up, and that's talking about Nebuchadnezzar. So maybe all this is talking about Nebuchadnezzar. I'm sorry. Because he was in charge of the earth. But when his heart was lifted up and his mind hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. So that's when he was wet with the dew and beast of this is all in Daniel 4. Hopefully you're watching this on a playlist. So you remember Daniel 4, don't you? And he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beast, and his dwelling with the wild asses. They fed him with the grass of the oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High God ruled in the kingdom of men. And that he appointeth over it whomsoever he will, which was Nebuchadnezzar. And thou his son, O Belshazzar, hast not humbled thine heart, though thou knewest all this. So in other words, you knew your dad's story, but you haven't been living like him after he was humbled. And of course, you have to be called to that. But has lifted up thyself against the Lord of heaven, and they have brought the vessels of his house before thee, and thou and thy lords and thy wives and thy concubines have drunk wine in them, and thou hast praised the gods of gold, silver, brass, iron, wood, and stone, which see not, hear not, nor know, and the God in whose those thy hand breath, and whose are thy ways, has not glorified. So you haven't glorified God. Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and the writing, and this writing was written. So tomorrow we go over that. The writing on the wall. Daniel's going to tell him, love you very much. Glad you're here. Ask questions any time, please. That's what I'm here for.